Hi Fatima!
Ciao Danilo!
How are you?
Benvenuta, welcome!
Thank you. Noi ti abbiamo invitato al prossimo Festival dei diritti umani e vogliamo farti conoscere al nostro pubblico. Ci dici come sei arrivata in Italia?
Ok, sì, capisco, grazie mille. To tell you how did I arrive in Italy?
Yeah.
Actually, it's a bit long history, but to make a long story short is I was living in Herat, and when Taliban arrived so everybody was asking me like to leave Herat because your life is in danger, and to protect my loved ones, I had to leave the city, and I went to Kabul. 1 month I stayed in Kabul in a dormitory room. It was 12 at noon that the dormitory manager knocked the door and told me that, Fatima, you have to leave here because Taliban is already in Kabul and we cannot protect you anymore. So I was like completely shocked and I didn't know what to do, but I had to get out of the dormitory. And I get out, I have seen like people on the streets shouting, running, and like they were all horrified and shocked. And a lot of air gunshots that I didn't know where are like them from. But I was moving and I didn't have even a destination to go. Sometimes I was crying, sometimes I was motivating myself that, okay, today will pass and don't give up and you will find a solution. And then we went to the airport like around 12 at noon because we had a flight at in the evening. We went there, but we couldn't get into the airport because there was such a great violence of Taliban, a lot of gunshots, people who were killed, a lot of bloods, and you know, the people who were falling down from the planes. It was like there were not those people who were falling from the planes, but it was, for me, it was like my country who was falling down. Finally, we found a person who knew a member of Taliban. We bribed this member of Taliban with $300, and then he helped us to get near to the foreign soldiers. And once we were near to the foreign soldiers, I think he was an Italian soldier or a French soldier who has known us because it was the time we had a flight to Italia.
Provi a raccontare com'era Fatima 10 anni fa e com'è Fatima adesso?
A tough question because now I feel like being a grandma, you know? It's like I have lived the life of a grandma. Like 10 years ago, I was a child who had to live my childhood to be happy, like play with children, having a lot of beautiful toys. But I was supposed to work and I was supposed to struggle to get an education in Afghanistan. But now I feel like being more experienced, more strong, but at the same time, like I have more pains in my heart. It's what like differentiate me from other students in my class, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's hard, like, you know, being alone, far from your family or friends, worried always about them, what happens to them, and hard to contact them. But at the same time, I try to enjoy life, like to see it from a positive side. At least I'm safe, I can help them economically, and I'm studying in a good university, so I'm doing virtual tours to Afghanistan, and instead of being a real tour guide, and then doing like some other stuffs, like for example I create a YouTube channel to show Italy to the world, and things like this.
Che futuro ci può essere per le donne in Afghanistan? In questo momento non possono fare nulla se non stare chiuse in casa e fare figli.
Well, unfortunately, right now things are impossible for women, and I feel or I see Afghanistan as a prison for women, or even I see women who are present in their houses, like people who are buried alive. But I was always a girl who was hopeful. I mean, if I have seen things impossible in the past, I was not here today. So I always have seen the bright side of things. So, you know, Afghan women, they are so brave, while like everybody was afraid and hiding, especially like men, but women were on the street shouting for their rights. So I do believe women today are not the women who were 20 years ago. They are changed, they have fought for their rights, and they're educated. So they are fighting, and they will be fighting, and I think things will change one day, sooner or later. And I'm hopeful.
Il nostro festival si intitola Right Now. Ce lo puoi dire nella tua lingua?
حقوق فعلا